Hi, my name is Kelly Amos, and I am a fitness and nutrition specialist, and I'm also a behavior change coach. And this is round two for the Tiny Health Tips. A little technical difficulty earlier. I'm talking today about balancing your hormones, and this is kind of what's going on for the week is finding balance. And yesterday on my live, I talked about how training affects it, and promised today that I would talk about the nutritional side of it. But I really think that that what needs to come first is to have an understanding of our environment and how much our emotions affect our hormones. And when you're talking about balancing hormones, first of all, everyone is different. Everyone is different. Everybody's coming from a different place, and how their body responds to something and where their hormones are. Mine, I was amenorrheic for 14 years, so why I am estrogen dominant now, and I'm, because of my age, I mean, I should be where I am, but what I did before, that had an effect on me as well. So it's our upbringing, I guess, and the things that we've been exposed to. Well, it really is, so you can't just pick a hormone. We can't just pick, okay, I'm low progesterone, so I need to eat some foods that increase or enhance my progesterone. I need to do training that is going to keep me in this hormonal state. We can do things like that, and we should, because we should do whatever we can to help balance them. But if we're not addressing the emotional side and how much that has an impact on our hormones and get an understanding of that, then we really are going to continue to be frustrated. And part of that is to accept that what we can control. And if you're getting a little pudgier here, and you're 49, I'm eating well, I'm exercising well, then this is what's happening to my body. My legs are short and I have a long torso. I will never have long legs. I accept that. I will never have straight hair. I accept that. So part of it is accepting where we are, but knowing that we are doing whatever's important to us. And through the research that I've been doing, the emotional side of it has such a significant impact. And I'm going to give some examples, because every single one of you has gone through times in your life and are going through times of stress in your life. And here's where, with the when you're looking at hormones, bringing the Eastern philosophies and approaches, as the mind, body, soul, it's all energy, and then the Western side, that is the physical, the matter, the tangible things. Bringing those together is really important when you're talking about hormones, because if you really have to adjust your inner state because when your inner environment is healthy and good, then your hormones are going to shift. So what happens is chemicals are released, certain specific chemicals are released in response to emotions, and those chemicals are sent down to your cells, and that has an effect on your hormones. And hormones are interrelated with each other. They're teammates. So if one is out of whack here, then it's going to eventually have an effect on this one, because if this one's high, then that's going to make this one low. This one is the stressor one. This one is the calmer one. So that's why they have to balance. We have them for a reason. I mean, they have a job. They're supposed to do this, but one takes over and becomes the powerhouse there. And so that's when things start to, it's just the basically a shotgun approach. Everything that's what we're doing. If we're just isolating one hormone, you can't do that. You need to look at your environment first, and then survey the scene. You got to survey the scene and see where you are, and then try to create the best environment before you start bringing in these other specific things, because they could be it's like an onion. You got to kind of peel away the layers. And because if you're just going to try to hit this one, well, you know what? If you adjusted this, that actually would balance that one out. So why don't you just do this? Because then that takes care of that one, and that one. So that's where I want to talk a little bit more today, just about the emotional side. I know that I'm getting a little lengthy here, but how much stress has an effect on your hormonal state. We're all under stress, every single one of us, and at different times of our life. And even your hormones being out of balance stresses you out. So we create more. So a thought should last, and the chemically speaking, a thought should last 90 seconds. So when we keep replaying that, or holding on to grudges, or continue to be irritated about this situation, or this is just really getting on us, or it's really stressing us out, those chemicals are being released and released and released and released and released and released. And so it's just creating this environment that is just not healthy, and it's having an effect on our hormones. So having some things, when my husband was diagnosed with cancer in 2013, fall of 2013, and 2 weeks to the day after he had his first chemo treatment, not to the day, but within a few days, my son broke his leg in the first round of the playoffs. And this is our son's senior year, quarterback, husband's head football coach, living the dream, going to win a state title together. And it just destroyed our family. I mean, we were just going through a really hard time. And I lost a ton of hair, and I didn't sleep, and I was a wreck. So all those emotions, I mean, I was physically, the stress was physically affecting me. You all know that. You all know that you've had times like that. And so why wouldn't that screw up your hormones? I mean, that's what's happening there. So it literally affects your organs. It's affecting your cells. It's inflammation, and so the inflammation is Alzheimer's and diabetes. It's just, this stuff's happening. It's just, what organ is it going to settle in? And so talking about the nutrition and the things that you can start to include or incorporate is something that's important. It absolutely is, because that's something that you can control. But what specifically? So I don't want to be saying take some ibuprofen when you don't need ibuprofen. So I wanted to bring that up. I want you to consider coping mechanisms, things that can help you. And so your tiny health tip is to take a moment. And I suggest this with food. I suggest this with other things. Just take a moment, think about what you're eating here. Is that what your body needs right now? Because literally, whatever you take in, your body is going to use it where it needs to use it. I mean, if you take in 30 grams of protein, it's not going straight to your biceps. Those amino acids are going to go wherever your body needs at the moment. And if you're taking in stuff that your body doesn't need, then it's just going to store it somewhere, or get rid of it, or whatever. But so taking just a moment and really thinking, is that person worth my hormones being out of whack? Is that job really worth my hormones being out of whack? Is that energy, that negative energy that you're giving to something, is that really worth me getting Alzheimer's? So just take a moment to think about how, what's important to you. What do you want your life to look like? And today in my cycle class, they had just finished their interval, and I was asking them to do some different things, and asked if they could shut their mouth and breathe, and most of them couldn't. And then I just said, calm down. Just calm down. Just calm down. And you could just see their bodies just calm down. And within seconds, they were able to shut their mouth and breathe. So our mind is matter, and it can control your responses. And that's physical. It's not just, it's your physical, it's what's happening inside your body. I'm going to watch this again and again and again because I need to keep hearing this. Thank you for tuning in, and I will get to the nutrition stuff tomorrow. I promise I'll give you some tips, okay? Thanks for watching. Thanks for sharing. Hope you had a great day, and I'll see you tomorrow.